All right, everyone, we are back with another perfume review. This is the second review that I am doing from the brand Monde Gourmand. And I believe I mentioned that I had ordered this one when I talked about the pistachio one, meant to review it within the next week or two, and literally just completely 100% forgot to do so. And we are looking at it today. So Lait de Coco is one that I have been testing for quite a while. As I said in my initial review of the pistachio fragrance, I ordered these two together with the intention of both wearing them separately and layering them. So I had initially started playing around with this fragrance in the summer. The notes are praline, coconut, and bergamot. I knew I was forgetting one in there. And I had started with this one in the summer because it has more of that coconut milk fragrance, and I really like smelling like a tropical coconut all summer long. And then, so I used it a lot in the summer. I liked it, I enjoyed it. And then I pulled it back out in the fall to layer with the pistachio. That is where I think that it shines. I would go in with this one first, and then I would go in with the pistachio, layering them to create a scent that's very similar to the Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream fragrance. A little less sweet than that one, but I think that's where this fragrance really stands out. On its own, I would only get 2, maybe 3 hours max wear time out of this one. Again, to be expected. We have talked before about how fragrances from Le Monde Gourmand do not have the longest wear time. They also don't have the highest price point. So you either need to bring the bottle with you, reapply, and that will cause you to go through the bottle much faster, or you need to layer them to try and build the strength and the lasting power up. When I layer this one with the pistachio, then I'm looking more like 4 or 5 hours out of the combination, which is much easier to deal with from a touch-up or lack thereof perspective. I would say the one thing that I don't love about this fragrance is the liquid itself in the bottle is a milky white. I thought that was just for a presentation effect. But I noticed the first few times I used it, it actually sprays out not quite like an oil, but almost more like a sticky lotion. And it doesn't bother me, but it is not how I would have chosen the fragrance to be released from the bottle, if that makes sense. So when I spray this on, it will take longer to dry down than a traditional eau de parfum, eau de toilette. And I have to remember that because I am not someone who likes to get perfume on my clothing. That for me is a personal preference. I spray whatever my fragrance of the day is on while I am getting dressed. And this one, and I do have a couple of others that perform in a similar manner, I have to spray them on, and then I have to remember that they take a couple minutes to fully dry down. And if I continue getting dressed during that time period, I am going to get it on on my clothing, and I'm almost going to feel a little bit of that residue on my clothing throughout the day. That is something that bothers me. If that does not bother you, this certainly will not bother you. But I just don't love that about this fragrance. And so far, this is the only one I found from Le Monde Gourmand that has that aspect. So I don't know if I will be experiencing that as I try other fragrances in the line, or if this is unique in that manner. But for me, that's something I really have to think about with this fragrance. So if you like a coconut fragrance, don't like something super strong, or you would like a warm coconut fragrance for layering, go ahead, pick this fragrance up. I believe this is one of the ones that's available at Ulta. You can easily get your hands on it. But if you are looking for something that lasts all day on you, this is not going to be your choice. There are other coconut scents out there in all different price points that are much stronger than this one. I like this fragrance. It is not my first choice of what I have tried from this line so far, and I do think it is best layered. So I still have a couple other fragrances from this line to try out, so I will be back to review them, hopefully with less time in between the time it took to review this one after my first review.